Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Bottom right hand corner, we got Nyentek starting as the purple Zerg. Bottom left hand corner, we got Metodman starting as the industrial gray Protoss, which I love saying. This is going to be on Radion, so larger macro-oriented map. Nyentek has shown some interesting creativity and some odd play. Unfortunately, game one went for an early lurker pressure that got spotted quite rapidly, and Metodman was able to compensate fairly quickly to deal with the Zerg shenanigans, and as a result also was able to get a good amount of economic damage done. Otherwise, this is a very early probe. Never mind, that's a well-timed probe. My brain is just... For a second there, I thought that was the on 6 supply for whatever reason, instead of at the more typical 8, which is correct. Anyway, I think this is going to be a Forge first opener. Probe making its way out on the map to try to get eyes. Won't be able to sneak in to see that Overlord coming across. Wonder if that's why they put this. So Radion has this dark spot here. I'm wondering if that's why they put that there, so you couldn't just squeeze down and there was an Overlord path you could do to kind of hide it along that left-hand edge. That's spotted. This might turn into a cannon rush. Metodman, does he see the... Okay, he just is going to wander up and see the spawning pool as well. Now here's the thing, Nyentek still doesn't know the position. This was an overpool on top of everything else. He knows that there... what Nyentek does know is that there's a probe in the darkness. It's a little bit scary. It looks like it is going to be a Forge first opener. And on Radion, you can go ahead and plop down that Nexus, get a cannon after the fact, and still be in good straits. Nyentek not even wanting to bother. Oh, you can see, this is cute. He's keeping that drone along that edge just to keep eyes out. Well, okay, there he's going to the third. Lost track of that drone for a second. And so this drone kind of hiding, and it's going to go ahead and drop that natural after the fact. Cleverly getting past Metodman's, and also was able to spot just in case there was going to be any sort of cannon rush shenanigans, and he's just hiding for his life in the midst of this. First two Zerglings spawn right on top of that drone and didn't do their job and clear things out. I think Metodman wants to confirm the location of that hatchery and make sure another hatchery was in fact dropped. Into the other trick of it, he is investing in a cannon. He might be able to save some money here actually, but just the two Zerglings out on the map and one of them chasing that probe. I wonder if a cannon cancellation would actually be beneficial here, because I think he could cancel the cannon. Well, okay, might as well. That would be a little bit over optimized, and that would be really risky if you got a slew of Zerglings after that. I wonder how many Protoss would risk that. I bet a pro gamer is going to do that in this next season of ASL. That should be my insane prediction, and I will wait to see if someone actually has that happen. So probe explodes on the ramp line, by the way. What is technically the second hatchery at the third, however, just about to complete. Nexus is going to go ahead and warp in, and right now I'm going to give the economic lead to Metodman just because didn't have to... He plopped down that Nexus fairly rapidly, didn't have to worry about a lot of other trouble in the space of this, and this third hatchery took a while to make its place. And whenever you have to walk out, it takes a while. Looks like the probe was killed, so Nyentek wants to go for the Hydralisk bust. So we're going to see that. We'll even see if this turns into a 973, but we do have another probe that's along that wing side to go ahead. First of all, going to be able to check this for certain. Do we have Zerglings are holding the ramp for Nyentek? So looking for full information denial. I'm always interested to see what combinations of... This is a very fast Hydralisk in the space of this, by the way. Usually when you're going for 973 or something along those lines, the Hydralisk stun comes out somewhat later in the build order. Nyentek diligently blocking the way, though, to try to cover any sort of information. We are at 19 workers. Looks like we're seeing speed first, so Nyentek wants to pull the trigger sooner rather than later. Might be able to catch Metodman off guard with this, honestly. Zealot is marching out, wants to try to get past that Zergling line to get full confirmation. We've got 5 drones there, 4. We have more drones being built. Looks like we've got Zerglings being built there at the 3 o'clock. Unfortunately for the Zealot, because with these Zerglings being constructed, along this timing will be sufficient, although they need to group up and attack rather than just sitting there. Okay, there. So getting some economic disruption. And Zealot not going to get a great trade overall. And I'm not sure that that Metodman looks at that and sees anything amiss. Did the probe make it into the main in the meantime? I don't see cannons getting dropped, so I don't think so. And probe gonna get wiped out as well. This is actually looking pretty good for Nyentek. At a good amount of workers. Are the Hydralisks coming now? He's still going for range. So usually if the trigger's being pulled, it's right about here. And you just see the looks like Overlord's gonna be getting hit by the Corsair. Nyentek sitting on 3, but he on 3 hatcheries. Maybe a little bit scattered here. So we got what, 6 drones? So 6, 8, which is like 9, 7. Nyentek gonna go ahead and tech delayer, dropping that 4th hatchery along that edge and grabbing that 2nd gas. Is gonna end up losing 2 Overlords in the space of this, so kind of unusual play from him, because honestly, maybe he just presumed that the jig was up. I don't think it was. Gonna lose 3 Overlords for free out on the map though. Yikes. Now he's building Hydralisks. But I think this is just to defend against the Corsair. Odd. I will say odd. 3 cannons on the front, another pylon defensively just in case. 3 Corsair are out. Now I'm going to flip this back toward Metodman, potentially. Although Nyentek has done a pretty good job of surging a drone count, and Metodman is paused at 36. Doesn't have, he hasn't surged to the usual, usually you want to see like 44 around this time. 40, somewhere in the 40s drone count, and then going for the gateway flood. That might hint that's worth a gateway of units potentially. This Overlord going to get picked off as well, though he might have made up the difference in just sheer Overlord damage. Nyentek looks like he's on the exterior and thinking about going for a soft contain. Another hatchery, we're looking at 6 hatch Hydra. Is that right? Maybe 5? 1, 2, count it, 3. Diggity can count, that's 5 hatcheries. Not more. Dark Templar getting a lot of damage. How many kills? 3? And the Hydralisks are still sitting there. They're going to have to draw back pretty rapidly. And the Corsair's remaining very, very active for Metodman. They +1 finished? No +1. This is going to force Nyentek in a defensive position. Kind of unfortunate that Zealot revealed its presence. Idle's scrambling a little bit odd on the map. So if Nyentek was going for any sort of contain, that's kind of fallen apart. At this stage, has left at 3 o'clock, oddly enough. The Hydra's going to post right back out. Dark Templar checking to see if anything else is snuck out of the map. And the Corsair's still finding kills, by the way. Here and there. In large numbers. Overlord speed's finished, and it just doesn't matter. Okay, does Nyentek go for the bust at this stage? Still sitting at 20, so before he was at a good position. Now, Metodman's been able to push that worker count pretty high. Dark Templar has got to feel good about himself making it his way into the 3 o'clock, but let's see if that's enough to defend. We've got 4 cannons. 4 cannons. No, I don't know that we got Psystorm. So if Nyentek goes, he might have an opportunity. He's losing drones at the 3 o'clock. Corsair blowing away everything, so he's got to get it done with what he's got on the ground. There's the emergency cannons, but it looks like Metodman getting caught off guard by this. Front is now opened up. Overlords are dying in droves, by the way, and it looks like the Dark Templar are going to reposition back towards that natural expansion in the main. Pope's pulling off line. If Metodman holds this, he wins. That's what it comes down to, and he's got a lot of leeway after that previous Dark Templar damage. And I think he's going to get it here. Not a lot of Hydralisks remaining, and the Dark Templar can make its way. A Dark Templar can get built on the field, and I think that'll be enough. Yeah, that's going to clear. And now, all of a sudden, Nyentek down to 16 workers. Did the Dark Templar get killed? It looks like the Dark Templar finally got dispatched. But Nyentek at 26 supply. And he's still got more Overlords that are on the sacrificial altar of the Corsair. Forge getting redropped. Got the robotics. Ready to go, not even needed. Psystorm's going to be finished. More Overlord's going to end up losing their lives. This is falling apart here for Nyentek. Yeah, and this Overlord's certainly going to get dispatched as well. I like the word dispatch. Although, it feels like it has a... looks like the Spire took a beating. I missed the Dark Templar going in and attacking the Spires, where I'm trying to find him on the minimap, but sometimes when you're hugging a building, the purple will block in and hitbox with it. I didn't even realize the Spire was in play. Did that Overlord get out? Took some damage. I think the Overlord at the near side died. This Overlord is hiding. That Overlord is lucky he's not dead as well. Metodman at twice the supply of Nyentek right this second. Probe's a bit scattered. Getting repositioned. We are seeing the Gateway Flood somewhat later. Zergag is going to go ahead and get cleared as well. Nyentek, if he had heavily droned in the midst of things and gotten some good saturation and gone for an emergency additional base, and Metodman had gone for an expansion after this, rather than going for an attack, I have a feeling he's going to go for the attack here. He's got all the components. He's got Observers, he's got Psystorm, although not a lot of energy on that High Templar, decent amount of energy on that one. Is way ahead in supply. I don't know if he recognizes how far ahead he is the question. Some Scourge wandering out. The Corsair have the Dragoon support. It looks like Metodman is going to wander up to go ahead and grab a base first. Another Overlord gone. Scourge just checking out the area. Somewhat concerned. This probe can drop that base with confidence. Overlord's still spotting, even though Nyentek in the red. Scourge not able to land, and unfortunately mostly getting wiped out. So 5 Corsair can more or less freely wander the map and continue to get some damage done. Metodman just needs to keep his army cohesive, which he's doing a good job of right this second. Psystorm over the top of that. And it looks like this is going to get pushed back towards that third. This is a pretty defensible spot, even with just Hydralisks. Metodman can just draw back around, go for another tag. The thing is even if he doesn't do any damage, this third base is still going to come online and put him at an economic lead overall. Do we have we got another hatchery dropping. How are we doing on upgrades? That was the other thing I need to check. No +1 weapons as of yet. Metodman now all over the place. In Nyentek's natural expansion, Overlord's going to get picked up. Ooh, Psystorming his Observer. Not that it matters because we don't have any lurkers. But this should be it. I think that's going to be GG here. Mutalisks trying to drop and do what they can, although this is a decent attack force as they're making their way back. Do we have Psystorm? No Psystorm. So Nyentek is going to survive this particular onslaught. Though, once this is all said and done, he's still going to be at half the supply. Interesting though, half the supply is even an army. Overlord's getting away from that Hydralisk defensive circle, and we've got cannons and a lot, it looks like wide cannon arm to defend this. 9 o'clock base up and running. We have some reinforcements. More Overlords getting pecked away at. Metodman could probably grab this 6. He's already got a probe checking out top right. Zealot patrolling just in case, and I think Nyentek at this moment in the red, if he comes from this angle, this would be the worst possible angle. Let's see if he crashes on the natural or tries to attack the third. Either way, he needs to get some catastrophic damage done, and if he does not, that will be insufficient. And getting caught almost immediately, the Zerglings cycling through, losing their lives before they're really able to get a hit off. Yeah, everything getting absolutely obliterated, and with that should be GG. Let's see. It's up to Nyentek to... he can still wait it out, but I don't see Metodman losing from here. Single Zealot wandering across. Is he going to go all the way into the main? Looks like another Zealot would have made it all the way into the main. I missed that walking across in the space of all this as well. This Zealot just marching right up in. And got a drone kill. Imagine that. Imagine being so beefy that you just like, and having such a disposition that you have acid just regularly getting spitted on your face, you're like, no. This dock worker must die. All the dude wanted to do was lift some rocks and put them from here and put them over there, and nope. Not allowed to happen. We are against that on this planet. Alright, pressure continues. We have 4 High Templar, which is enough Psystorm, I think, to obliterate Nyentek's entire army. He's dropping an emergency sunken colony, but that will not protect his 3rd. Yeah, Metodman can just cycle this. He's gonna get 2 additional Overlord kills and some beautiful Psystorms underneath as well. Gonna catch the drones exiting on top of everything else. Yikes. There's GG. And Metodman takes game 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.